Almost every real estate agency in Dubai is buying leads the wrong way, and it's quietly killing their business. See, lead quantity is never the problem, but the delivery and what happens with the lead after when it comes to you, that's where things go wrong. I run a performance marketing agency, and over the past 10 years, I've looked at a lot of ad accounts. There are only a few things that really matter, what really kill the overall lead quality. Let me give you a full breakdown. You're focusing on the wrong problem. Almost every real estate owner that I talk to, they all have some version of, I need more leads. I have agents sitting idly, I need to fill their pipeline, something for them to work with. But, I mean, why would you want a long list of leads that go nowhere? Wouldn't you rather want leads that actually convert? And all the businesses that I have looked at, their pipelines, the activity that they're doing, a lot of them, they have like bulk of leads that their agents are currently pursuing. They are trying to follow up with them. But the end result is always the same. Is the same number of qualified leads, the same number of conversions that come in, despite the long list of cold prospects that they have. So the problem is never the amount of leads that you have. It's more about the lead quality. So when I talk about the lead quality, it usually always comes down to three core fundamentals. The first is the channel. Right now, you may be thinking about, should I go on Meta? Should I do Google? Should I do Snapchat? Should I do something else? Should I focus on the local market, the international market? Whatever the case may be, Meta and Google and all of these platforms, they're not actually competing with each other. They're all focusing on the same goal. See, Meta interrupts. So no one sitting on Meta is actively looking to buy a property. At least they're not saying it. On the other hand, if you look at Google, then the user has explicitly said something like 2-bedroom apartment in Dubai Marina or buy property in JVC, which makes them a much better prospect. Yes, but the competition is pretty severe. And not everyone who lands on the website, the landing page after doing a Google search, is going to convert. And why would they? Property is a time consuming decision. It's a well thought out decision. It's not something that you just go online and you say, okay, now I'll buy a 1-bedroom apartment. The user needs their due time. So they might or they might not fill out the form. On the other hand, one thing that you can do is probably target people who came to your website through that initial Google search. And then once they exit it and they go to Meta or Snapchat or LinkedIn or whatever, you remarket to them. On Meta in particular, you can do an instant form. This would do two things. One, a simpler form, which gives them something easier to fill out. Two, it helps the algorithm learn a bit more about the type of people that you're looking for. See, the journey started with someone who was actively searching for that particular keyword or key phrase. So that means that the intent is already there. If you build a remarketing list out of that, chances are that the lead quality that comes in through Meta is also going to be good. And once you have that data sitting inside your Meta ad account, your CRM, and your conversions API is in place, when you expand the audience from that small set of audience to a cold, larger audience, you're going to get a lot better results. The second thing that matters, in addition to just the channel, is the offer itself. When I say the offer, almost everyone does the same old register your interest, which is okay, but it invites a lot of speculation. Why do you want them to fill out the form? And more precisely, what do they get out of it? Are you just another person who's going to give them the brochure of the property that you're advertising? Or are you going to give them something much deeper, much more meaningful? Depending on the audience that you're targeting, of course. If you're targeting investors, they need to know the ROI. They need to know what they're going to get, the capital appreciation, which area should they go ahead with. They don't want to look at one specific developer promoting something. They're coming to you because you're a consultant, you're a specialist. Why do you want to be a mouthpiece of the developer? That's not the reason why someone is filling out their form on your particular asset. If they wanted that, they could have gone to their website directly. Or in this case, what could happen is they would take all the information from you and then go to the developer directly and then buy from them directly. So the offer that you have in place, the creative that you're pushing, it needs to stay a bit generic. You can talk about 2 BHK apartments in JVC. You can talk about the Blue Rail and the areas around it and the properties that you have for it. You can talk about price points, which is actually pretty good. It automatically pre-filters the submitter. So you can say apartments in Dubai from 500,000 dirhams or 800,000 dirhams or 1.2 million or whatever range of bracket you have. Just know that the higher the price, the higher the CPL. That's something that we've seen happening across our clients. Now, of course, everything that I'm saying is based on roughly 4,196 plus data points that we've accumulated across multiple clients in UAE. Specifically from the real estate market, there's a huge chunk of that. People who are advertising in UAE, people who are advertising internationally, trying to get leads, and they get sales out of it. They really do. So what does good actually mean when it comes to CPL? That's a question I'm sure is racing around your head. And that's a question that you've been asking your team, your agency, what's a good CPL? There are a lot of factors that contribute to this. If it's a fresh account, no warm-up, it has no history, especially on Meta, chances are you're not going to get a good CPL in the first month or even the second. The algorithm just doesn't know you. It doesn't know what your average CPL is, what kind of customers you're working with, what's good for you, what's bad for you. So it will start working on standard benchmarks. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Lead quality is always a question mark. But on average, if you're focusing on the local market with local properties, the CPL ranges from 75 dirhams to 120 dirhams for instant forms. On Google, this is 2 or 3 times higher, depending on the active CPC at that time. If you're focusing on the international market, let's say the UK region, the average CPL could be anywhere between 120 to 220, and UK is actually a pretty good region. Similarly, if you go to the European region, let's say Netherlands, or if you go to France or a couple of other areas, the average CPL jumps up to 250 to 320, sometimes maybe even higher. But on average, a good number, something that we judge ourselves against and our campaigns against, is for the local market, we focus on getting a CPL of around 70 to 90. For international, specifically UK, we say we want to bring it down to roughly 80 to 120. That's the bracket that we usually operate in, and that's the bracket that our clients usually get their leads in. But CPL is one half of the story. Is the lead quality that you want, right? So a good campaign needs to do both of it. Have that CPL intact and also get you that lead quality. If the lead quality is being compromised, then like I said, there's no point in getting all those list of leads and just filling out spreadsheets. You need leads that convert. And that is what you should be focusing on. This is the part that everyone almost always skip, and it's where you're bleeding money. That's the speed to lead. How long does it take for your average agent to get in touch with a lead as soon as it comes in? Real estate is a very, very competitive market. So if you're taking longer to respond to someone who actively filled out a form, you're going to lose them out. In a research that we did with some of our clients in the CRM accounts, we saw that the leads that were contacted quicker usually resulted in them being more qualified. And the sales that came in, most of them came in through this audience. There are a lot of things that you can do for it. You can put in an automation in place. You can use a CRM that does this for you. You can have SLAs in place. And this is where the internal structure comes in, your sales manager, the accountability of your agents. So the overall structure that you have in place. So once you have that in place, that is where your leakage stops, your speed to lead. If you focus on that, then your lead quality automatically improves a bit. One last thing. WhatsApp is a good channel, But running a WhatsApp only campaign can prove to be a disaster just because it has a lower CPL, which could range from 5 dirhams to 15 dirhams. And I'm sure a lot of agencies would have quoted that to you. It's too easy for the end user to fill out. They don't have to fill out anything, to be honest. They just have to click on get in touch. And once they do, they start chatting with you on WhatsApp. A lot of issues come in this. First, this WhatsApp query, it dies out on its own because no one is actively tracking it. Unless, of course, you have like a very dedicated person who is handling your WhatsApp communications through a centralized account and is actively assigning the leads to the relevant agents. The lead quantity is going to be there. But just because the platform is instant, the response that people anticipate is also instant. So if you want to use WhatsApp, there are a lot of better ways to do it. Running a WhatsApp only campaign for real estate in particular, despite a low CPL, can prove to be a disaster. Real estate lead generation that actually works is a system, not a tactic, not a growth hack. You need to understand the channels and how all of these work together towards your end goal. You need to keep your offer aligned with your end users. Don't be a mouthpiece to the developer. Offer them consultation, offer them an angle that really works. Keep it simple, keep it price oriented. And like everything we discussed, improve your speed to lead. If you don't, results are going to go down. Benchmark your results against your own self. See how your campaigns are performing. Keep on improving them over time. Every ad account is different. If you look at the numbers that a friend or a colleague or someone else shares with you, it's good to have that in hindsight, but every channel is different. Every platform is different. Every ad account is different. You can generalize a couple of things, but it's not guaranteed that every ad account is going to get the same result. No two campaigns can deliver the same results. It's just there by design. And of course, your speed to lead. If you have that intact, your results will improve. So everything that happens after when the lead comes in, that's where the real magic happens.